Hey, it's the Ultimate Handyman. Today I want to show you a few different methods on how you can install piping underneath concrete walkways or even a driveway. So before we start the video, I wanted to ask you for a huge favor. Can you please subscribe to my channel? It doesn't cost you anything, but it really helps me out a lot. So for today's project, I'm going to be tunneling under this small walkway in my backyard. I'm going to be connecting my above ground swimming pool to my pool pump equipment, and I need to get 1.5-inch pipes underneath this walkway. So the first thing I had to do was soak the soil on both sides of the walkway, because the ground where I live is as hard as a rock. Now if you have really soft soil and you can dig in it easy, then you don't need to do this step. Next, I'm going to be digging 2 trenches, one on each side of the concrete walkway. That way I'll be able to get the pipe down into the ground so I can start my trenching process underneath the concrete. Now, depending on how rigid your pipe is and how long it is, that's going to determine the length of your trench. So the first method I want to show you is how to install a 4-inch to 3-inch drainage pipe underneath the walkway using a drain spade. So what I'm doing here is I'm starting to tunnel underneath the concrete with the drain spade. Now when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you don't undermine the concrete too much, because you could end up cracking the concrete. So the drain spade works really good for narrow width walkways. I would say from 3 to 4 foot wide. If you go any wider than that, you might need to use another method. But what you can do is you can probably get the drain spade in about 2 feet on one side, and then you can switch sides and tunnel in from the other direction. So another way to get these larger pipes underneath the walkway is to use a hammer and a power washer. So what I'm doing here is I'm getting the pipe started by pounding it in the soft soil, and then I'm going to be using the power washer to wash away all of the soil that's building up inside the pipe. And then you just keep doing this process, hammering it in and power washing it until you get to the other side. So I'm using this same method to install my 1.5-inch PVC pipes that I'm going to be using for my swimming pool. So here I'm blowing out the soil with the power washer. I think my power washer is a 2500 PSI power washer. But you know what, if you don't have a power washer, you could probably get away with maybe even using a garden hose and jamming it in there, as long as you have some type of jet nozzle on the end of it. I also wanted to mention that you should be careful when you are pounding the pipe in the ground. If you run into a snag and you hit the pipe too hard, you could actually crack the pipe. So best bet would be to maybe put a block of wood on the end of the pipe while you're hitting it. The reason I didn't do it here is because I actually was going to cut the end of the pipe off anyways, so I wasn't really concerned if it got damaged on the end. So I've got the pipe installed, and you can see light at the end of the tunnel. Now I wanted to point out that this method is very, very messy. It's going to make a big mud pit in your yard, so I just wanted you to be aware of that. But it's actually a really great way to install pipes under your walkways. This next method is for installing smaller pipes, like 3/4 to 1/2 inch. You can either do it with copper or PVC. So what I've got here is I've got a 3/4 inch PVC pipe with a cap on the end of it, and I drilled a small hole on the end of it to make a jet nozzle. Now at the other end of the pipe, I installed a hose end connection so I can screw it to a garden hose. So to start putting the pipe under, you want to turn the water on and then start working the pipe back and forth underneath the walkway, and the jet nozzle is going to basically push all of the soil out of the way as the pipe slowly but surely inches its way through underneath the walkway. So once you get the pipe under the walkway, you can go ahead and cut the fittings off of both ends that you installed, clean up each end of the pipe, and continue connecting your plumbing. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section. I'd love to answer any questions that you may have. And before you end the video, I wanted to ask you for another favor. Can you please share this video and also like it and ring the notification bell so you can be notified when I post my latest how-to videos. And with that said, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you the next project. If you're interested in watching some of my other videos, you can check those out right here.